Coming up on this edition of Ableton on Air, we talk about winter preparedness tips, frostbite, and how to layer up if you're a person with a disability. All that and much more when Ableton on Air starts right now. Welcome to this edition of Ableton on Air, the one and only program that focuses on the needs, concerns, and achievements of the differently abled. I'm your host, Lawrence Seiler. On this edition, we talk about frostbite, winter preparedness tips, and how to layer up if you're a person with a disability. So let's begin. As you know, we're in winter, and we are going to talk about specific tips on how to deal with stuff. So let's begin. So if you are going out, we have to deal with how to layer up and so on. So this is coming specifically from www.disability.gov, and this information is for people with disabilities, people with special needs, on ways to prepare for winter weather and the winter season, and precautions on how to avoid frostbite and hypothermia, which I will definitely define in a minute. People with disabilities can register with their special needs registry or Department of Health or anyone that deals with medical emergencies, such as the Department of Aging here in Vermont. Please check your local law enforcement to see which information is correct and which exists in your area. People with disabilities and special needs, winter preparedness tips. People with disabilities should take extra care when dealing with the cold winter season. Some disabling conditions may limit sensory abilities and the ability to maintain body heat, so please be particularly vigilant about staying warm when you are out in low temperatures. Low temperatures is anywhere like minus 17 or anything of that nature. So, tip number one, wear multiple layers of clothing, such as a vest, gloves, so on and so forth. Please wear multiple layers of clothing, including a scarf around your neck, winter hat, boots, or 2 pairs of socks. If possible, wear thermal gloves underneath your mittens to keep your hands warm. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3, it's also good to carry a cell phone. In today's day and age, please check with your local economic services department, especially here in Vermont. They can help you get a cell phone for little or no money, and especially if you live in a rural area of Vermont. If you travel in a wheelchair, wrap a small blanket around your legs, tucking it underneath yourself around your sides. This will help maintain body heat. Wheelchair users may also consider purchasing pneumatic tires or special tires for better traction. Another alternative is to have standard dirt bicycle tires. Use table salt or clay cat litter to clear ramps. I didn't even know, by the way, if you don't have salt, you could probably use cat litter to get snow off ramps. Rock salt can poison working animals. So don't use rock salt, and also may be slippery. Remove tires from your wheelchair and shake debris and ice off them before placing them in your vehicle, if you have a vehicle. Wipe down any metal surfaces, wheelchair tires, rims, walkers, as soon as possible before returning home. This will prevent rusting. So, just to let you know that. Hold on 1 second. Let me get to the second part of this. Yeah. If you rely on delivering meals, always stock non-perishable food at home in case of meal deliveries are suspended during an emergency. If you have a plan with a doctor that addresses emergency prescription refills, please get your emergency prescription refills as soon as possible. If you receive dialysis and other medical treatments, find out if your provider's emergency plan includes where your backup site is located, or if it's closed, stay home, because it could be very bad outside. I know dialysis is one of those things where you must go every day. If you rely on medical equipment that requires electric power, please contact your medical supply company for information regarding a backup source such as a battery. Follow the manufacturer's directions when installing the equipment and battery backup if you use a portable generator for emergency power. The manufacturer's directions for safe operation, please check your local fire and building officials and regulations governing generator and fuel use. Ask your utility company if medical equipment qualifies you for a list of life-sustaining equipment as a life-sustaining equipment customer. So let me repeat that. If your medical equipment qualifies you to be listed as a life-sustaining equipment customer. And if during frostbite, or if you have to be medevaced, which means a helicopter, you might want to call 911 for that. If you rely on oxygen or need an oxygen tank, talk to your vendor about emergency replacements. Okay, now I'm also going to define frostbite and then get back to other. So let's define frostbite. Okay. Defining frostbite. Frostbite is an injury to body tissues that causes exposure to extreme cold, particularly affecting the nose, fingers, loss of toes, and sometimes resulting in gangrene. Okay, the three types of frostbite are as follows. Three types of frostbite are as follows. Frost nip is a mild form of frostbite. Superficial frostbite causes changes in skin color. In other words, it can be overly red, so on and so forth. Deep, severe frostbite as frostbite progresses. If if it affects all layers of the skin as well as tissues that lie below. So, according to the Mayo Clinic, which can be www.mayoclinic.org. So www.mayoclinic.org. Mayo is spelled M-A-Y-O, like mayonnaise. Don't put in the word mayonnaise. It's mayoclinic.org. Okay? So there are pictures here of what frostbite looks like. If my screen can you can enlarge the image. Listen, frostbite and dry skin looks like this. Okay, frostbite on the fingers. So let me X that out. This is frostbite and dry skin. Frostbite on the fingertips looks like that. Enlarge the image. Okay, that's where your skin is cracked and all of that stuff. All right, so the stages of frostbite. So where your skin is clear, there's no frostbite. Frost tip number 2 is where it's redness. Superficial frostbite is where it starts to blister, and deep frostbite, where because the 3 parts of the skin are the epidermis, the dermis, and the subcutaneous tissue. So when your skin completely turns black, that's when gangrene sets in. Just as you can see, this is coming from the Mayo Foundation of the Medical Education and Research. So you can go to www.mayoclinic.org. That's where it's coming from. Okay, skin without cold damage, no change in color or no change or color or texture. Frost nip is the mild frostbite that irritates the skin. So on and so forth. If you experience numbness, joints and muscles may stop working. Okay, that's number 4. That's the 4th one. Large blisters from 24 to 48 hours after rewarming, the tissue turns black and hard as it dies. That's where gangrene sets in. Okay. Just to let you guys know that. Okay. Now, frost nip. And let me enlarge the image on the ear here. That's where it gets awfully red. Frost nip is a mild form of frostbite that irritates the skin, causing redness and a cold feeling following numbness. Frost nip does not permanently damage the skin. That's when you sometimes forget a hat or your gloves and you get frost nip. Skin that looks white, red, bluish gray, or yellow, purplish brown, ashen, ASHEN, depends on the severity and the condition of the usual skin color. Hard or waxy looking skin. Clumsiness due to joint and stiffness muscles. Frostbite is most common on the fingers, toes, nose, ears, cheeks, and chin. Because of numbness, you may not realize that you have frostbite until someone points it out. Changes in color skin affected area may be difficult to see brown or black skin. Superficial frostbite Superficial frostbite causes the skin changes in skin color. This skin may begin to feel warm, a sign of serious involvement. You may treat frostbite with rewarming at this stage. The surface of the skin may be mottled, or you may notice stinging, burning, and swelling. A fluid-filled blister may appear 12 to 36 hours after rewarming the skin. So let me tell you guys when you should see a doctor, okay? Seek medical attention for frostbite if you experience the following: signs and symptoms of superficial and deep frostbite: increased pain, swelling, inflammation, and discharge in the area that was frostbitten. If you experience a fever or new unexplained symptoms, seek emergency care for hard, blotchy, and cold skin, hard, cold, blotchy skin. Seek medical attention if you suspect hypothermia if you expect hypothermia. Hypothermia is a condition in which the body loses heat faster that can be produced. Signs and symptoms of hypothermia include the signs and symptoms of hypothermia include intense shivering, slurred speech, drowsiness, and loss of coordination. And you must wrap the person with hypothermia in warm blankets until help arrives. What can you do in the meantime? While you wait for emergency help, consult a medical doctor or get a medical appointment. Take appropriate self-care measures such as removing wet clothing. In other words, don't be stupid. I don't mean to say the word stupid, but if it's raining outside and it's cold, change your clothes. Remove wet clothing. Protect the affected area from further cold. Don't walk on frostbitten feet. Don't walk on your feet. And reduce pain with pain reliever, aspirin or something like that. The causes of frostbite occurs when skin and underlying tissues freeze. The most common cause of frostbite is exposure to cold and weather conditions, but it can be caused by direct contact with ice, freezing metals, or very cold liquids. Specific conditions that can lead to frostbite include wearing clothing that isn't suitable for the conditions you're in. Don't wear shorts in below 90 degrees. Don't wear shorts in 17 below zero. For example, if it doesn't protect against cold, windy, or wet weather, it's too tight. Staying out of the cold and wind too long increases temperatures, falls between -5 or between -5 Fahrenheit or 15 degrees Celsius. If you happen to be watching this and you're in an international country, such as Israel and other places that deal with Celsius. Even with low wind speeds and wind chill of -16.6 Fahrenheit or 27 degrees Celsius, frostbite can occur on exposed skin in less than 30 minutes. For more information, you can go to Hold on, that was a mistake. Let's go down to where, okay. 1 second. Oh, here we go. Here's more stuff that we forgot to mention. Complications of frostbite include increased severity to cold, increased risk of developing frostbite again, long-term numbness in the affected area, excessive sweating, changes in skin color, changes in loss of nails, joint stiffness, and when you start getting arthritis, growth problems in children. Frostbite can damage bone growth, the bone growth plate, infection, tinnitus, which is in the ears. Gangrene is the decay and tissue resulting of tissue death, hypothermia. Now, we might go over a couple of minutes, but frostbite can be prevented. Here are some tips to help you stay safe and warm, also coming from the Mayo Clinic. Limit time outside in cold, windy, or wet weather. Pay attention to weather forecasts and wind chill readings. In very cold, windy weather, exposed skin can develop frostbite in a matter of minutes. Dress in layers of loose and warm clothing. Air trapped between the layers of clothing acts as insulation against the cold. Wear windproof windproof and waterproof garments that protect against wind, snow, and rain. Okay? Choose undergarments that wick moisture away the skin. Change out of wet clothing, particularly gloves, hats, and socks, as soon as possible. Wear a hat or headband that fully covers your ears. Heavy woolen or windproof materials make best headwear and gear protection. Wear mittens rather than gloves. Mittens provide better protection, or try a thin pair of glove liners of wicking material such as polypropylene material, which is a pair of heavier gloves or mittens. Wear socks or sock liners that fit well. Wet moisture will provide, wick moisture will provide insulation. Consider hand warmers as well, as well as foot warmers for blood flow. Boots may be too tight, restricting blood flow. Watch for signs of frostbite. Early signs of frostbite include changes in skin color, prickling, and numbness. Seek warm shelter if you notice the signs. Plan to protect yourself. When traveling in cold weather, carry emergency supplies and warm clothing in case you become stranded. If you'll be in remote territory, tell others your route and expect your return date. Like I said, if we go over, it's okay. This is important. Don't drink alcohol if you plan to be outdoors in cold weather. Alcoholic beverages may cause your body heat to lose body heat faster. And eat well, balanced meals, and stay hydrated. doing this before you go out in the cold will help you stay warm. And keep moving during cold weather. Exercise can get the blood flowing and help you stay warm, but don't do it to the point of exhaustion. And for more information on this, you can go to www.mayoclinic.org. That's www.mayoclinic.org, which is MAYOCLINIC.org. mayoclinic.org. Well, that's all the time we have today. Please stay safe during winter weather. This has been a topic on winter weather and people with disabilities. Thank you for, thanks to all our partners and sponsors who have partnered with us in our show, Able Then On Air, including the Division for the Blind Vermont, Higher Ability Vermont, and many, many, many others. Arlene is not here today. She is recuperating in rehab. We at Able Then On Air send our best. I'm Lawrence Seiler. See you next time on the next edition of Able Then On Air.